All right, hello, sixth grade. Today we're going to be diving into our next lesson out of chapter one, and that is going to be using ratio tables. Now, the thing with ratio tables is it's going to play off of ratios or fractions, if you want to call them, that we've been doing the past three lessons. So let's take a look at a few important ideas for the start of lesson four, and we'll read what the equivalent ratios and tables are. So the quantities in the opening activity can be organized into a table. So what we're doing is we're taking our fractions and we're putting the numerator in one row and the denominator in the other row. So if you notice here, this table is called a ratio table because the columns are filled with pairs of numbers that have the same ratio. In other words, these columns are made up of a fraction. Again, the numerator on top and the denominator on the bottom. So if you can see what the book did here, the ratio 1 over 3 is equivalent to 2 over 6. That is equivalent to 3 over 9. Okay, and each of these simplify down to 1 over 3. So what we're going to be doing here is basically we're going to be simplifying or we're going to be multiplying to find the equivalent ratio. And this was one of our definitions. Equivalent ratios express the same relationship between quantities. All right, so let's actually put that into play and let's look at our next question. Okay, with example B, looks like we're starting off with a fraction of 12 over 16. So this one we're going to be simplifying because we're going from higher numbers to lower numbers. And it looks like the middle fraction we don't know, and the last fraction we have a 4. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to divide by a common factor and keep dividing until I get back to a 4 over here. Now, if we look at 12 and 16, we can both divide these by 4. So if I divide the 12 by 4, I get a 3. And if I divide the 16 by 4, I get a 4. But what that does is it blocks me from getting over here to the 4. Because if I do 4 divided by 1, I end up with a 4. And a 3 divided by 1, I end up with a 1 with a 3 over here. But what we need to do is we need to ask and follow our procedure here because we have a middle fraction and our last fraction, they cannot be the same thing. So for instance, if I divided by 1 and divided by 1, I would have 3 over 4. But this doesn't follow the flow of our question because it says find the amount of sugar needed for 4 cups of cranberries. So what we're doing is we're going from one fraction on the left to a middle fraction to the lowest fraction on the right. So what we need to do is try something else. So we're going to take these 4's off of here. All right. And we're going to try dividing by another common factor because what we want to do is ultimately we want to get equivalent ratios in all 3 columns. We can't have the same column with the same ratio. So let's try dividing here by 2 because they are both divided by 2. Then I end up with 12 divided by 2 as 6, and I end up with 16 divided by 2 as 8. Okay, so there is my middle column completed. Now, what I want to do is I need to figure out what this numerator is. So I just look down here, and I can see that if I divide 8 by 2, I get a 4. So what I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. And if I do 6 divided by 2, I get a 3. And we are complete. So now my middle column is 6 and an 8. And my last column is 3 and a 4. Okay, now that we can kind of see what we're doing with these tables, there is a specific term that we're going to use to actually be calling the simplifying or multiplying thing that we are doing with these numbers, and that's going to be scaling. So whenever you hear the word scaling, that means we're either going to be simplifying or multiplying two related quantities by the same number. All right, it's always going to be the same number that we scale with. Sometimes you may need to scale back, and then sometimes you may need to scale forward. That's the most important part about scaling, is because sometimes it's going to bring you, you're going to put a little more weight, and then sometimes you're going to divide a little bit of weight. All right, so let's look at our question here. And it says here, cans of corn are on sale at 10 for $4. Find the cost of 15 cans. Okay, now this one's tricky because our first fraction of 10 over 4, then we have the middle column, we don't know, and then the last column, they give us a 15, okay? And I can't multiply 10 times anything to get me to 15. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to scale back first. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to divide by a common factor that's related to 10 and 4. And the only thing related to them is a 2. So we'll divide by a 2 right there. Once I divide by that 2, I get a new fraction of 5 over 2. All right, so my middle column is complete. But now I need to do something else and figure out what goes right here. So in order to do that, I'm going to look at 5 and 15, and we're going to scale up. So 5 times something and 2 times something will get us to our end goal. And if we look at it, we're going to be multiplying again by the same number, kind of like what we've been doing in the past lessons. So if I take 5 times 3, and if I do 2 times 3, sorry, that 3's, clear that 3 up a little bit, and 2 times 3, that should get me to where I need. So 5 times 3 does equal 15, that checks off, and 2 times 3 equals 6. So we found out our missing boxes, and that's a 5, a 2, and a 6. All right, let's check and see if this is kind of settling in. If you want, I would hit pause right now and try and figure out the scaling inside of this ratio table right here. So if you hit pause now and give it a shot, and then unpause the video, I'll show you how to solve it. All right, so hopefully you gave it a shot, and let's see how you did. So I know off top that I'm looking and I need to figure out what my equivalent ratio in the middle is, and I need to figure out what this denominator is. So I need to find this one, and this one, okay? Now I know that I can't think of any factors that I can multiply times 25 that's going to be 105. So we're going to have to scale back first. So we'll scale back first. Scale back first. And if I divide both of these by a common factor, we could talk about the GCF and the LCMs that we did in lesson 1. And this common factor is going to be a 5. Okay, so if we divide 25 by 5, we get a 5. And that takes care of that. And if I divide 10 by 5, I get a 2. And that takes care of that. Okay, now that we've scaled back, we're going to scale up now. All right, and I just need to find a common factor that I can multiply times 5 that'll give me 105. And that number is 21. Because if I do 5 times 21, I get 105. So whatever you do to the top, we have to do to the bottom. And if we do 2 times 21, we end up with 42. All right, so with a little bit of math, we figure out what our middle column is and what our ending column is. So we end up with a 5, a 2, and then this box is a 42. All right, again, if you have any questions, please email me. Send me a message through Google Classroom, and we're always online after school gets out to meet with you on Google Meets. All right, have a good day.